All right, so here we are. So this is the financial focus or financial planning strategy portion of this webinar. So if you're just joining us from here, and I've been forgetting to say it, but this is YouTube. So I think I have to say, please subscribe, like, and hit that notification button. Our subscribers have just, gone up so significantly, and I appreciate you all for that. This last 30 minutes or so, it could be 15 minutes, I don't know. It's for this last section of this webinar, we refer to as the financial focus. So this is our financial planning topic. And today it is the new super catch-up rule, who it applies to and who it doesn't. So this is kind of a crazy thing that came out of the Secure 2.0 and came into effect January of 2025. So I'm just going to explain this to you. And then I figure the best way to share the information, what seems to be simplest, is I'm going to map it out for you a little bit. So let's talk about the recent changes. So let's just share with me here. Here's an excerpt. I talk a lot about the Slott group, but I can't say enough things. It's great information for us, and I'm proud to be part of the Master Lead Advisor group for many, many years now. But we get just really great material and updates and access to analysts. But I grabbed this from one of our latest newsletters that Ed puts out. So let's first look at this section I have in front of you. Congress complicates catch-up contributions. And listen, the Secure Act did a lot of things, but it complicated most things. So it makes it much, much harder to fly, to fly without some guidance, to do work on your own, or sail your ship without a rudder, whatever analogy works for you, because these rules are complex, and they get more complex all the time, it seems. But let's read through this together. The original concept of catch-up contributions was to allow older people to boost their retirement savings by making extra contributions over and above the regular deferral limit. So we're talking about your retirement plans, 401ks, 403bs, governmental 457 plans, simple IRAs, SEP IRAs. The changes we're talking about today relate to simples, 401ks, 403bs, 457 governmental plans, not SEP IRAs. But the idea with a catch-up contribution is, hey, once you hit a certain age, and that age in the past has always been 50, once you hit a certain age, you can contribute more to your plan. So, but that's now changed a bit with the Secure 2.0 enacted in January. IRA and Roth IRA accounters. Oh, and yes, of course, you can make catch-up contributions in traditional IRAs too. Traditional IRAs and Roth IRAs allow for catch-up contributions after age 50. No change there. IRA and Roth IRA account owners age 50 and older have been able to make catch-up contributions since 2002. The catch-up limit was raised from $500 to $1,000 in 2006, where it remains. 401k, 403b, and governmental 457 plans participants who turn age 50 or older during the year can contribute an additional $7,500. Starting in 2025, employees in 401k, 403b, and governmental 457 plans who turn age 60, 61, 62, or 63 during a calendar year will be able to make a super catch-up contribution of $11,250. Now, that super catch-up contribution is something that the Slott group, I'm part of that Slott group, and we coined the super catch-up contribution. It's not really an IRS term that I've seen. It's just kind of a term we use. But isn't it kind of crazy? It only affects those, or it only is allowed for folks who are age 60, 61, 62, or 63. This makes no sense to me, and I've asked, why do you think that Congress did it this way? And nobody really seems to know. Now, what would make sense to me is, okay, well, from age 50, after age 50, you can put in another $7,500. Once you hit age 60, well, now it's $11,250, and then on for as long as you're working. Well, that would make sense, but that's not what we have, right? We've got 4 years, 60, 61, 62, 63, where we can make these additional super catch-up contributions. So if that's not confusing enough, forget about it if you have a simple IRA. Employees in a simple IRA plan with the 10% increase limits will have a 2025 regular deferral limit of $17,600 and a catch-up limit to $3,850 for a total maximum of $21,450. There are now 3 simple IRA catch-up limits. For 2025, they are $3,500, $3,850, or $5,250, depending on the participant's age, how large the employer is, and in some cases, the level of the employer's simple plan contribution. So I'm going to show you where you can find that, but my goodness, if I'm not a fan of simple plans. So if I have a client who has a business and they have a simple plan, I almost always recommend that they consider looking at a 401k. 401ks are, in my opinion, simpler to manage than a simple plan. And this is just another reason for that. But that's my opinion, folks. But I'll share this with you regarding simple plans. So this is the 2025 retirement plan contribution limits, and I'll show you where you can get that. If you don't already have that, you can download that document. Now, the newsletter I don't have on our website, but here, this document I have on our website. So let me drop our website down here, and I'll share with you for a second. So this is our Attleboro Wealth Management homepage. And what you do here is you go to resources, and you come down here to the slot corner. So that is not like the football slot corner. That is the Ed Slott Master Lead Advisor slot corner of information. And we open that up, and there's some good videos and information about Ed and his team and what that means. What does it mean to be part of this elite advisor group? That's if you're interested, you can go in there and see. This is a webinar I did some time ago with Ed, and then this is more information about being on the what it means to be involved in the Master Lead Advisor group. So then you see these different tables. What I'm referring to you here is this retirement plan contribution limits, and there's some effective dates on Secure 2.0. There's a Medicare income planning. There's a tax planning table. There's some more information from the Secure Act. There's HSA. There's HSA information here, and all you can do. There's no fee for this. You can access the downloads by hitting this button here. See this button here? Hitting this button, put it in your email address, and then you can access the download page. So that's all available on our website. That's attleborowealth.com, and you navigate to the slot corner. So now let me just get that out of the way. So that's where I got this information, right? This is 2025 contribution limits. So this is what I was just talking about. Let's focus in on the 401ks and 403bs. So here are our normal contribution limits. This is 2025. This is what it was last year. No change. This went up a little bit, but we still have a $7,500 contribution limit. And if you're in a certain age, you can contribute $31,000. Here we're at, here's our 60, 61, 62, or 63. You can add, it's $11,250 instead of $7,500. And I'll map that out for you in a minute. But check this out. This is the simple IRAs. So in 2025, here we are, 2025. Regular contribution max is $16,500. Catch-up contribution is $3,500 for a total of $20,000. So here we go. Catch-up contributions down here. These for those over 50 or older. Yeah, I just told you $3,500. The Secure 2.0 Act also increased the simple IRA catch-up contribution limits for certain individuals. For 2024 and 25, the catch-up contribution limit for a business with 25 or fewer employees is automatically increased to $3,850. Businesses with 26 to 100 employees can allow this higher contribution limit, but only if they provide a 4% instead of 3% matching contribution or a 3% instead of 2% across the board contribution. For 2025, those who are age 60, 61, 62, or 63 at the year end can contribute an additional $5,250 instead of $3,500 or $3,850. Holy cow. Talk about confusing, right? So here's how, let's go back to 403Bs. 401ks, my microphone's kind of in my way. Here, let me make an adjustment. So we're looking at 401k plans, 403B, 457B, governmental plan. And this is kind of how I thought about it for these catch-up contributions, because I know it can be, confusing. And if you turn these ages during the year, you don't. It's not like there are some things in the rules. For example, a qualified charitable distribution that if you turn 70 and a half in that year, you have to wait until you actually reach that age 70 and a half. So if your birthday is in January, for example, you have to wait until your half birthday in June to be able to actually make a qualified charitable distribution. Not the case here. In the year you turn these ages, this is what you can do. So if you think about it here, we have 0, age 0 to age 49, and we're talking about 401ks, 403bs, and 457 plans. Here's your contribution. You've got $23,500. That's your max contribution you can do in one of these plans, a 401k, 403b, or 457 plan. So now you cross 50, age 50 to age 59. Here is your bracket. You can do, let's see, 23,500, your base contribution, right? And then you have another $7,500. And that's a total of $31,000. Now, here's the super catch-up. Well, now you're 60. Only until your age 63. So here's your bracket. Ooh, that's not a pretty bracket, but that's okay. So now we've got $23,500. It's the same base contribution that you can do, and these are max contributions. Now, this is just your contributions. This is not employer match. We talked in the beginning of this, where after-tax contributions, things like that, and employer match, they don't count. But these are the standard contributions. So that's your max, $23,500. Now, instead of $7,500 here, we have $11,250 for a total of $34,750. And this is where it's crazy, because why not just make it 60 and above? No, Congress says, well, no, for age 60, 61, 62, and 63, now you can make a higher contribution. Now, though, you say you reach age 64. Happy birthday, you reach age 64. And you go all the way until you're working, or until, folks, you're no longer here. Whatever comes first, right? So now, though, this doesn't apply anymore. Now we're back to this. $23,500, $7,500 catch up for a total of $31,000. If anybody can explain to me how that makes sense, please do. Just write to me, drop a line, send an email, put a comment in here. Hi, good morning, Thomas. Put a comment on here. I'd love to know what the reasoning is here. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I'd like to think there's some kind of math behind it, but I can't understand it. That would make the most sense to me. But I think that would be the most helpful. If you're listening on the podcast, this is going to be hard for you to observe or absorb. But I think this bracketing is really helpful. But if you're just listening to me, if you're age 60, 61, 62, or 63, and you're contributing to a 401k, 403b, or a 457b government plan, and you want to contribute more than you think you may be able to, and you think I can only do $31,000, well, if you're 60, 61, 62, 63 years old, or if you're going to turn one of those ages this year, 2025, you can contribute up to $34,750. So good news. But if you're 63 this year, that's it for you. Next year, when you turn 64, well, now you're back to the $31,000. So if you don't like that, write your congressperson and maybe ask them the question, why the heck did you do it this way? I've got 5 more years to work. I'd like to be able to contribute more. But there are the rules as they are today. I don't see a change. Sometimes when things are crazy like this, we see a change. We see a change in regulation from the IRS. They go in and they say, okay, this is what we think Congress meant by this, and we're gonna make it more reasonable. And believe it or not, that commonly happens. It hasn't happened in this case. So the Secure Act had a couple years now before this law was enacted. This part of the law was enacted, and there's different effective dates. So I think they would have addressed it by now, but who knows? Who knows? But let's just check in here. Let's make sure we hit all of our points. Where's my list here? So we talked about the recent changes to catch-up contributions. We talked about 401ks, 403b plans, 457b governmental plans. We talked about simple plans. And we talked about the why. Why? Who knows? I don't know. I can't answer that one for you. But you should have all the information you need now to make proper catch-up contributions if they fit for you. You should understand if they apply to you or not with certain ages. If you have a simple plan, good luck. You might want to consider a 401k instead. It's a little simpler than a simple plan. Simple plans might be the most improperly named retirement piece that ever came out of the legislature. But anyway, but that's it for today, folks. It's been a lot of fun talking to you, as it always is. And have a great, it's a beautiful spring day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. I hope it is where you are too. And we'll see you next week. Take care.